You've probably met someone who stays calm no matter what. The room can fall apart, everything can go wrong, yet they stand there, steady, quiet, unshaken. But here's what most people never notice. That calm isn't the same for everyone. It comes from different stories, different wounds, different ways the mind has learned to survive. There are 4 kinds of calm, and each one reveals something deeper than you'd ever expect. Type 1. The masked calm. The calm that hides chaos. These are the people who look stable in moments when most others would fall apart. They speak evenly, their expression stays neutral, and they rarely allow their voice to crack. But internally, their mind is working overtime, analyzing, worrying, and trying to keep everything from spilling out. Many people assume this calm comes from strength, but in reality, it comes from fear of exposure. Somewhere in their past, they learned that showing emotion leads to conflict, punishment, or being misunderstood. So they learn to suppress. Not because they want to, but because it feels safer than being vulnerable. This emotional masking becomes automatic. Their body stays still, their tone stays even, yet their heartbeat tells a different story. Psychologists describe this as surface acting, outward calm, inner chaos. What you don't see is that they're constantly scanning their surroundings, choosing every word carefully, and controlling every reaction. Silence becomes their armor, a way to stay invisible when they don't feel emotionally secure. Strength, powerful composure under pressure. Struggle, emotional fatigue, difficulty trusting others, and the constant fear that the mask might slip. Type 2. The numb survivor. The calm that comes from pain. This type of calm doesn't grow from confidence, it grows from exhaustion. When someone has carried too much for too long, the nervous system eventually stops reacting in the same way. They've been through moments that shattered them, through loss, disappointment, or experiences that forced them to grow up too fast. After enough emotional impact, the mind learns a form of protective numbness, not feeling less, but reacting less. To them, chaos doesn't feel new, it feels familiar. So when something goes wrong, they respond with a quiet sigh, a steady look, or a slow, "I'll handle it." It's not that they don't care. It's that they've learned caring too intensely has a cost. Their calm is a defense mechanism. It shields them from overwhelm by limiting how deeply negative emotions can penetrate. What people don't see is that this numb calm often hides old wounds that never fully healed. They don't seek drama, not because they are above it, but because they simply don't have the emotional energy to waste. Strength, resilience, perspective, emotional stability. Struggle, difficulty feeling joy deeply, struggle with vulnerability, and being misunderstood as detached. Type 3. The predictive mind. The calm that comes from preparation. These individuals stay calm because their mind is always one step ahead. Before a problem even appears, they've already imagined multiple outcomes, what could go right, what could go wrong, and what they'll do in either case. This type tends to rely on logic over emotion, not because they lack feelings, but because they understand that panic makes people lose control. So instead, they focus on clarity, strategy, and maintaining awareness of every possible variable. Their emotional intelligence is high, especially when it comes to self-regulation. They can experience stress and still choose a steady response, a skill most people spend years trying to develop. What you don't see is how mentally active they are. While others react in the moment, they've been analyzing patterns, behaviors, and potential problems long before they were visible. Psychologically, this is a form of cognitive control, using foresight to stay safe. Because they think ahead, they're harder to manipulate. They can sense tension early, predict emotional shifts, and avoid situations that might overwhelm them. Strength, reliable under pressure, decisive, emotionally steady. Struggle, being misread as unemotional, perfectionistic tendencies, and a reluctance to rely on others. Type 4. The integrated self. the calm that comes from acceptance. This is the rarest form of calm, a calm rooted not in fear, not in numbness, and not in strategy, but in inner alignment. These individuals practice radical acceptance. They don't waste emotional energy trying to control things outside their influence. When life shifts, they shift with it. When plans change, they adjust without resentment. Their calm doesn't come from avoiding emotion, but from understanding emotion. They process, reflect, and release instead of suppressing or denying. This gives them an internal steadiness that doesn't depend on external stability. What people don't see is the amount of self-awareness behind this calm. They've spent time understanding their triggers, their habits, and their patterns. They know what drains them and what restores them. Their emotional intelligence is high, not because they were born with it, but because they've learned to sit with discomfort rather than resist it. Strength: adaptable, grounded, thoughtful, and genuinely peaceful. Struggle: often misunderstood as indifferent, and sometimes underestimated because their reactions are so controlled. Calmness doesn't mean you don't feel anything. It means you've learned how to navigate your emotions instead of letting them control you. Each type of calm tells a story of survival, intelligence, acceptance, or hidden struggle. Some people are masking, some are healing, some are preparing, and some have simply found balance. Whichever type you relate to, remember this: calm isn't the absence of emotion, it's the mastery of it. Which type of calm feels closest to you? Leave a comment, not for the algorithm, but for your own clarity. And if this perspective helped you, you're welcome to join the channel for more.